A recent report has quietly revealed something that most people completely missed. U.S. Special Operations aircraft have deployed to Puerto Rico, and not the kind of aircraft that show up for routine exercises or friendly flyovers. These are platforms designed for one thing only: entering hostile or sensitive environments without being seen. Aircraft built to land on unprepared runways, fly at extremely low altitude under radar, and insert elite teams deep into territory where traditional forces cannot go. That detail alone should raise eyebrows, because these aircraft are never deployed without a reason. And here's where it gets more interesting. This deployment does not exist in isolation. It is adding to a growing and increasingly complex military presence already forming across the Caribbean, including elite aviation units, a mysterious maritime platform, a steady influx of strategic aircraft, and now even the shadow of a carrier strike group nearby. When all these elements start appearing together, the real question isn't what they are doing, but what the United States is preparing for. At the heart of this development is the MC-130 Commando II, one of the most specialized and least publicly understood aircraft in the U.S. inventory. This plane is not about deterrence or show of force, it is about access. The MC-130 can fly thousands of miles at low altitude, evade detection, land on rough, improvised airstrips, and deploy personnel and equipment precisely where commanders need them. It can also refuel helicopters and tilt-rotor aircraft in midair, dramatically extending their operational reach. That capability changes the entire map. If forces can be inserted anywhere, at any time, without relying on established bases, then traditional borders and defenses suddenly matter much less. Even more significant is its ability to support parachute insertions, allowing teams to quietly deploy into coastal zones or deep inland, securing strategic points before anyone realizes what is happening. And the MC-130 never works alone. Operating alongside it is the CV-22B Osprey, a tilt-rotor aircraft that combines the vertical takeoff of a helicopter with the speed and range of a turboprop plane. This is not just transport, it is a force multiplier. The Osprey can launch from confined spaces, fly hundreds of miles at high speed, and insert teams directly into contested areas. It can land on rooftops, remote clearings, or short runways that traditional aircraft simply cannot use. Imagine a scenario where forces deploy from the sea to the interior in a single flight, without touching a conventional base. Control of key terrain could shift before local forces even understand what is happening. Is this just readiness? Or is it about maintaining the option to move fast when the situation suddenly changes? Then there is the Ocean Trader, a vessel that looks civilian on the surface but plays a very non-civilian role. This ship functions as a mobile launch platform for special operations forces, allowing teams to deploy fast boats, assault craft, and helicopters far from traditional naval bases. What makes this platform so important is flexibility. From a ship like this, forces can approach coastlines, offshore infrastructure, or even other vessels while remaining mobile and extremely difficult to track. This is the kind of capability built for gray zone operations, actions that take place below the threshold of open war, where visibility is low and attribution is unclear. If control of the sea means control of access, then platforms like this quietly redefine who dominates a region. And when the Night Stalkers arrive, it is never accidental. Officially known as the 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment, this unit specializes in flying missions others simply cannot. Low, fast, and in complete darkness, their helicopters are designed to insert and extract forces without being seen. They fly just meters above the terrain, using the landscape itself as cover, operating in weather and conditions that would ground most conventional units. This is not about air superiority. It is about precision, timing, and silence. When Night Stalker aircraft operate, the situation on the ground can change in minutes. So when they appear in a region, it raises a serious question. What kind of mission requires this level of secrecy and speed? What makes this situation even more striking is that the flow of aircraft into the Caribbean has not slowed down. It is accelerating. Large strategic aircraft continue to arrive, including KC-135 tankers extending the range of combat aircraft, KC-46 Pegasus platforms supporting long-duration missions, and C 17 Globemasters capable of moving troops, vehicles, and heavy equipment across continents in a single flight. This does not look like a short-term deployment or a simple exercise. It looks like a sustained buildup designed to keep forces supplied, fueled, and ready for extended operations. And the question becomes unavoidable. Why bring this level of logistical power unless you expect to need it? Above all of this, there is something else constantly present: eyes in the sky. Armed drones like the MQ-9 Reaper remain airborne for hours, sometimes days, quietly monitoring vast areas. They do more than observe. They track movement, identify patterns, and feed real-time intelligence directly to commanders. And when necessary, they can strike with precision and without warning. When surveillance never blinks, mistakes become visible very quickly. So who is being watched and why? Meanwhile, one of the most powerful symbols of American naval power is also on the move: the USS Gerald R. Ford. This aircraft carrier does not sail alone. It operates as the centerpiece of a strike group, surrounded by guided missile destroyers, cruisers, and support ships capable of projecting force across air, sea, and land. From its deck operate advanced fighter jets, electronic warfare aircraft, and early warning systems, while its escort ships carry long-range missiles capable of reaching deep inland. When a carrier strike group operates near a region, calculations change instantly. Is it a signal, a deterrent, or simply a way to ensure all options remain open? Carrier-based aircraft, naval missiles, long-range bombers supported by tankers. None of these assets exist in isolation. What stands out is how they overlap. Air power, sea power, special operations, logistics, and surveillance all layered together, already. History shows that when these elements converge, it is rarely by coincidence. So here we are, special operations aircraft capable of deep insertion, elite aviation units operating in silence, maritime platforms designed for flexible missions, constant surveillance, sustained logistics, and a carrier strike group nearby. Individually, each move can be explained. Together, they tell a very different story. The question is not whether this changes the balance, it is why now. And perhaps the most important question of all: are we witnessing simple preparation or positioning before something much bigger unfolds? Let me know what you think in the comments, because this story is still developing, and sometimes silence speaks louder than headlines. If you found this analysis valuable, make sure to like the video and subscribe so you don't miss what happens next, because the most important moves often happen quietly, long before they become breaking news.